So today we will start with a very, very interesting topic of configurable workday security. Everything that you can do in the system, everything that you can see in the system is only because there is a security in the backend that has been enabled for you. Without this, you're just a regular employee who literally have visibility only to their own information, nothing else. So let's go back to your notes from the very first day. You have a lot of good keywords, technical specifications written over there. So if one of you can volunteer to share all those names. So this is how it works. When you join a company in the initial weeks, they have to request an access for their employees, for their team, to the Workday team. They create an account for you in the community, and that's how you access it. There might be a link to one of the tenant, but that is not community. That's different. So Workday as a software provides many solutions. Like core HCM is a solution. Okay. Within HCM, there are different functional areas. So I think let me scroll back up here. Let's talk about this first. You don't need to draw this. This is just for your reference. So the bigger box that you see here is nothing but your Workday solution. There are multiple solutions within Workday, and each solution has multiple functional areas. The one inside are your functional areas. So that is how Workday has started the journey of security by keeping different functional areas. For every module, what we call as module in the system is nothing but a functional area. So starting today, starting now, in your Workday journey, nothing is a module. A module is nothing but a functional area. Even in your interviews, you should talk about functional areas, not modules. If someone asks you what modules you have worked, reiterate the question, answer in using the question in that the functional areas that I have worked with are so, and so. You don't have to say modules anymore. Okay, so all these are different functional areas, and we're going to open up one of them in this below area, what a functional area is and how is security defined. And I just got signed out. So in your notes today, take a fresh page, write down the very first thing, functional areas.
So basically all of these, we labeled them as functional areas on top, right? What you wrote just now.
Yeah, so I'm opening a report right now. Functional areas is also a report within the system. It gives you a list of all the functional areas that you currently have enabled in the system. On the first column, you would see Workday solution. The next column is functional area. So if I filter just on the HCM one, you would see within HCM only there are 36 functional areas. And there's a possibility that one functional area is also a part of another solution. So your bigger picture, when you start looking at Workday, how did Workday architected its security is, they provide different solutions like HCM, payroll, adaptive insights, Prism analytics. These all are different solutions. And within each solutions, they have put up different functional areas. For example, you can see advanced compensation. If I scroll down, you have benefits. Benefits also comes under HCM. I'm just picking up the names that might be familiar to contact information is a different. Core compensation is also under HCM. integration is a functional area which covers some technical area of HCM. Jobs and positions, we already did that. Onboarding, we'll work with business process once we start with that. So some piece of performance, personal data. So many different functional areas come in there. Now let's go back. So in your notes, wherever when you write functional area, also write down in parentheses report, because functional area is actually a report, which once you start working with security, you will leverage initially. You might not use it on a day-to-day basis, but you will use eventually in the beginning. So let's open up a functional area. What does a functional area has? Okay. So each functional area, be it any functional area on the system, has some domains and business process. We'll come to that, what a domain contains, what a business process contains. Now, the question here is, if you are a regular user or an active user in the Workday system, how do you get access to these domains? Everything in the system is secured in these domains and business process. Every single thing, even as small as a report field, like hire date, even that is secured somewhere in these domains and business process. So there's no open data, everything is secured. Even the public information, for example, work location. I can see my peer's work location, work office address. That's public information, but that is also secured. The only reason you can see it because you have been given that security. Some by default, some were configured later once the system was implemented. Okay, but how do we, the main question is, how do you get access to these? I cannot just go in, let's say I have a user here. Let's say I have a user here, Rohan. Okay. Now I cannot just go, let's say this is my work email address. All right. And also this is my user account name, let's say, Rohan WD. Right. That's my account. So I cannot just go in and assign myself to a business process and get that done. No, it does not work that way. I cannot also go to a domain and get that done. No. Keeping this aside, there are these security policies. These are the gatekeepers of your domains and business process. So in your notes, write down security policies. And next to it, write down gatekeepers or membership rules. I'm giving you a reference to remember that. What are security policies? Security policies are your gatekeepers, or basically a membership form. So when you, let's say you want to join a gym or yoga or any particular course, you have to take a membership for it. Without that membership, you don't get access to the service or you don't get access to that particular facility. So these are those membership access. Now, if I take an example of a gym, okay, let's say you have a gym in your neighborhood and you just want to join it. So you first go there, you ask for what kind of services that you have. So you will take a membership. Now, let's say they have a process that either you take a bronze, a silver, or a gold membership, and they have different packages for it. Right. So until and unless you are not enrolled either as a bronze or a silver or as a gold member, you don't get access to the facility. So those facilities are nothing but your domains and business process. That membership groups are nothing but your security groups that are then assigned to your membership. your gatekeepers. So where do you get assigned? You get assigned at the security group level. Keep the name as simple as Rohan. Okay. This is where you get assigned. Through this, you get access to security policies, and security policies give them access to the facilities, in this case, your domains and business process. This, if you understand this, you have understood security. Because everything revolves around this concept. And it took me a year and a half to get that understanding that how do you even get security. Because even on the community, it's written very nicely, but it's not written very like in a very descriptive way. You need to learn a lot of different keywords and everything. So when I learned security, I was like, I have to make it easy so that if I have to explain it to someone, I should be able to do it. So that's why I use that gym membership example. So this is where you enroll for your membership and everything happens through your security group. I cannot just go in and directly assign you at the domain or business process or even in the policies. Security policies only understand security groups. And this is where you are actually assigned. What you can see and run in the system, like running a task, running a report, seeing someone's personal information, seeing someone's emergency contact, seeing someone compensation, everything is secured under domains. Now, domains, please make a note of domains. Under domains, you have something called as securable items. And securable items are then parted away in two categories. One is securable actions, and the other one is securable reporting items. Let's say we filter on personal information, personal data or contact information. Now, in this report also, it tells us a lot of things, which basically how Workday security is designed. The way it is designed is Workday provides the solutions. Each solution has functional areas. Each functional area includes domains and includes business processes. Now, let's open this functional area in another tab. Now we are at a functional area view. It says view functional area, and this you can see we are talking about functional area contact information. It has a description. In most of the places, description is always it's a good habit to read the descriptions, whether it helps or not, but it always is a good habit. It says set up, maintain, and report on names and contact information, such as addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. So this is all about your contact information. But how is it secured? Through your domains. For example, if I open person data emergency contact in another tab, you can see there are about 55 more domains include other than these 5 domains. So a total of 60 domains this particular functional area has. Depending upon what functional area we are working with, there is no duplicacy of domains. You won't see another person data emergency contact anywhere other than contact information. So that's how strictly Workday has designed or architected their security. Right. So when you look at the domain, again, observe, read the pages. This is your domain name. These domains provide access to person's emergency contact. It has some subdomains also, which means that there are domains reporting to these parent domains, which will again have its own policy. You see, every domain has its own security policy. This is that membership, your gatekeeper. Okay. And something here it says secured items. How do we see this? What you see here, all these custom objects, data sources, all these are your secured items. But an easier way to look at that is through domain security policy. So let's click on this and open in another tab. There you go. This is what I was talking about. Securable actions, securable reporting item. This is the secret that each domain secures. Each domain has securable actions and securable reporting items. These also refer to some integrations which are right here in the bottom, but we won't go there. Those are very, very technically, I would say, you need to be very technical to get that integration understanding, but the concept works the same way. So your securable actions are nothing but your tasks, reports, espresso reports you can run. Securable reporting items are nothing but your data sources, your report fields. Right? Let's say you recently joined in an organization, all right, as an HR operations analyst. Your responsibility is to take care of employees' personal information updates and making sure everything is set in the system. Now, you just joined in, you might not have all the security that has been provisioned to you, and you received a task that someone added their personal information. In their personal information, someone added the emergency contact and they want to change it. But the system does not allow them. It only allows an HR operation analyst to do it. But when you try to access that employee's emergency contact information, you cannot. You don't see it on your screen. Why? Because the security group that you're a member of or that you're assigned to is not a part of this domain. That is why. And even the smallest of element like your home address field in your emergency contact is also secured. So let's open this securable actions. You can click on this number. You see all these are type tasks, work set, report espresso. Again, work set. So let me write that down in your notes. Securable actions is nothing but your tasks, reports. Basically, these are your espresso reports. We'll talk about espresso reports once we start with reporting. Work sets, we'll talk about that also a little later. And with each type, in each row, you have some permissions required. Okay. Now, in the use case that we have, it's being said that you're not able to view the emergency contact information. The whole use case is that you should be able to view it and change it. But let's divide it. The first piece of the problem is be able to view it, because if you cannot view it, how will you even change it? Right? So if you have to view it, report expressos are the right way for it, because these are Workday delivered reports, which you can see on the screen. You don't have to run anything. It's like, let me tell you what these express. So when I click on this summary, you see this section, this is nothing but a espresso report. You see this job details, this is nothing but an espresso report running in the backend. Every single time I navigate to some other employee, I get different information. Now, if I take an example here itself, for Logan McNeil, I go to their personal information. I have this address. Oh, this is additional data. Oh, sorry, it will be in contact information. you see this tab here, emergency contact. Now, Logan McNeil is able to see this, like it's her own profile. Employees can definitely see it. But if I want to see for someone else, let's say I want to see for Thomas Shelby, for example, there are no members here. Let's just go back to Logan McNeil. It might take a lot. So if you are an HR operation analyst and you can see someone's emergency contact, that is the reason, because you are having access to this domain. If you don't even see this tab here, that means your security access needs to be updated. Your access is defined by your team, by your role. Workday does not comes up with default access that if you're a business analyst, based on the job profile, obviously. Workday has groups like compensation partner, compensation admin, system partner, HR partner, HR administrator, so on and so forth, with some default security. So even if you're joined as a director, if you're given access to a compensation partner, you will be able to do things which that security group has the security for. So that comes from your team, from your manager, from your role. What security is needed should be provisioned to you. So coming to modify and view section, there are only two types of permissions, which is modify. You will always see a task with a modify. You will always see a report expresso with a view, because there's nothing you can change here. Like if I navigate to Logan's profile here, I go to their summary section, there's nothing I can change in the job details section. And I'm able to see all this because I have the security for it. As a standard employee in the system, you won't even see their hire date. You can see their location. You won't see their management level or what employment type they have. You might see their business title, but not their position. Try it out in your organization. Try to navigate to someone else's profile and see what information is visible to you. It will be very limited. But if you are a core member of your Workday team, you will obviously have administrator access, which is a super user access, which you'll get. So taking that example of emergency contact, you want to see it. So you'll have to find something in this list. If this list has something which gives you access to that particular view, then your problem is solved. You just add your security group here and you will get access to. But if this list does not have what you need, then you need to find another domain, which will give access to what you're looking for. Now I can see here emergency contact information, report expresso view. This is what I'm looking for. I need to see workers emergency contact. So this one and the second one also. So all these are nothing but your securable actions that are there you can run in the system. Talking about securable reporting items, all fields here or data sources. We'll talk about what data sources are once we start reports, but these are all your report fields. And view get means view. So for reporting, you only have view access. Now let's say as an HR operation analyst, you're running a report. You have access to a report, and in that report, your emergency contact column is always coming out to be empty, which means that even though you have access to the report, but there is a report field which you don't have access to. So again, you search in the system, let's say navigate to this domain, and you see that there is an emergency contact field secured somewhere in this domain. So you will add your security group in this section, report task permissions. And you can see here view and modify. If you want to give someone just view access, you can add the group here and just give them view access. You want to give someone modify access, which would mostly be for a task. As you can see, there's a lot of tasks, and each task comes to modify access. You enable that checkbox. But please understand, once you add, let's say I've added HR partner here, for example, or escape HR partner here, this means that anyone associated with this group will have access to all these 68 securable actions and all these 17 reporting items. You cannot restrict definitely the piece. Like, it's not like you only want to give them access to a couple of securable actions and a couple of reporting items. No, it's all or none. That is how it works. So make sure that you have a picture of this, or if you want to draw it out, please make sure I remove this. We'll work around this visual only. Let me add some notes here so that, because tomorrow it won't be editable. Business process are nothing but your actions. A business process basically is nothing but, we break down what is a process. It's a step-by-step action. There's an initiation, there is an ending. And when that particular process helps us achieve a business objective, it's called a business process, like hire, termination, change job, propose compensation, onboarding, enter time off, request reference letter. All these are business process which allows you to take action either on a worker or on yourself. Create compensation grid is not a business process. That's a task. Propose compensation, however, is a business process because you're doing that on a worker. So Workday has differentiated between task and business process. Task is what you do. Task can also be on a worker as well. Like edit emergency contact, that's a task. But change emergency contact, that's a business process. So business process in very simple terms is nothing but your actions. You're able to add your emergency contact because there's a business process. You're able to change your profile pictures, change photo is a business process. You're able to request a reference letter. That's a business process. As a core Workday member or as a manager, you're able to terminate someone. That's a business process. If I talk about that same example of HR operation analyst not able to see emergency contact, the whole scenario was to be able to see it and modify it. So modifying that contact information is a business process. That is why your domains and your business process goes hand in hand. But the security policies look slightly different, a lot different for both of them. Open the functional area. From your functional area, open a domain. Let's say I want to open a domain. Obviously, at every page, when you open, you have to read everything. Like read the description. Even if it does not make sense, read it. A lot of the security learning happens through getting good at navigating. So if you're good in navigating where you have to find things, most of the problems are solved. Let's say I open anything here. Again, open the domain. Again, observe anything. From your domain, open your domain security policy. That's your fifth point. So in this case, as you can see, there is only securable actions. So no two domains are same. Each domain is unique in itself. This only has this. So this is an easier domain. Just observe. No action to be taken yet, just observation. Getting yourself very comfortable with navigating within domains. And this is just for one functional area. You have to do this for all the rest of the 4 functional areas. There's a very gray line between tasks and business process. Basically, task gives you access to business process, but a task is a one-step action. Like create business process or create compensation rate, create job profile. It's a one-step action. A business process is a series of actions. Like when you initiate a hire, there are multiple steps that goes in that process. So try to understand it through that way. Don't try to differentiate between task and business process because you will get confused, as it is confusing. A task can be a business process also, but a business process cannot be a task.